My friends, today I want to talk about something that separates true leaders from the rest: the ability to master emotions. In a world of chaos, uncertainty and challenges, the Stoic path offers a time-tested way to lead with wisdom, strength, and clarity. Leadership is not about controlling others, it's about controlling yourself. It's about having the mental fortitude to remain calm in the storm and to inspire those around you. Here are key Stoic principles that will help you become a leader who stands firm in the face of adversity. Live by your principles, no matter the cost. A true leader does not bend their values for convenience or approval. In a world where people compromise their beliefs for temporary gain, standing firm in your principles sets you apart. Integrity is the foundation of strong leadership, and without it, everything else crumbles. There will be times when sticking to your values will cost you opportunities, friendships, or even status. But the cost of betraying yourself is far greater. When you compromise on what you believe in, you begin to lose the trust of others, and worse, you lose respect for yourself. The Stoics taught that virtue is the highest good, meaning that honor, justice, and truth should never be sacrificed, no matter the pressure. A leader who changes their stance based on what is popular or easy is not a leader but a follower of public opinion. People respect and follow those who stand unwavering in their convictions, even when it is difficult. The greatest figures in history, whether philosophers, revolutionaries, or visionaries, did not rise to greatness by seeking comfort. They endured hardship because they believed in something greater than themselves. When faced with difficult decisions, remember that every action shapes your character. Every choice either strengthens your integrity or weakens it. When you choose to uphold your principles in the face of adversity, you are not just making a decision for today, you are defining the person you will become tomorrow. In the end, success and failure come and go, but your character remains. That is why a true Stoic leader never trades integrity for convenience. Stay true to your values, no matter the cost, and you will leave behind a legacy worth remembering. Mastering your reactions is one of the most powerful skills a leader can develop. Emotions are natural. Anger, frustration, fear, and even excitement will arise, but the key is not to let them control you. Reacting impulsively can lead to poor decisions, damaged relationships, and lost credibility. A leader who cannot control their emotions will struggle to earn the respect of others. People look to their leaders for stability, especially in difficult moments. If you explode in anger or make rash choices based on fear, you create uncertainty and weaken the trust people have in you. The Stoics taught that between stimulus and response, there is a space, a moment where we have the power to choose how we react. Instead of being a slave to your emotions, practice pausing before responding. Take a deep breath, step back, ask yourself, is this reaction helpful? Will it lead to a better outcome? Often when we give ourselves even a few seconds to think, we realize that our initial impulse is not the best course of action. Mastering your reactions does not mean suppressing emotions or pretending they do not exist. It means acknowledging them, understanding them, and then responding with reason rather than impulse. When someone criticizes you, do not lash out. When faced with a setback, do not let frustration cloud your judgment. Instead, see every emotional trigger as an opportunity to practice self-discipline. The more you train yourself to respond with wisdom rather than react with emotion, the stronger and more respected you become. In leadership, the ability to remain composed in the face of adversity is not just a skill, it is a necessity. Those who master their reactions master themselves, and those who master themselves become the kind of leaders others aspire to follow. Embrace discomfort as a teacher, for it is through challenges that we grow. Too often, people seek comfort, avoiding struggle and hardship at all costs. But true leaders understand that adversity is not something to fear, it is something to welcome. The Stoics believed that obstacles are not roadblocks, but stepping stones, shaping us into stronger, wiser, and more capable individuals. Every difficulty you face is an opportunity to build resilience, sharpen your mind, and develop the mental toughness required to lead. Discomfort comes in many forms: failure, criticism, uncertainty, and even physical hardship. When things don't go as planned, it's easy to become frustrated or discouraged. But instead of resisting these moments, ask yourself, what is this teaching me? A leader who sees discomfort as a lesson rather than a punishment becomes unstoppable. Challenges force you to adapt, to think critically, and to find solutions where others see only problems. They prepare you for even greater battles ahead. History has shown that the greatest leaders did not emerge from ease and luxury. They were forged in the fires of struggle. Marcus Aurelius led Rome through wars and plagues, never complaining about his burdens, but seeing them as his duty. Seneca, exiled and betrayed, used his hardships to deepen his wisdom and strengthen his character. These figures understood that suffering is not what weakens us, our response to it does. When discomfort arrives, do not shrink away from it, lean into it. Embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. The more you train yourself to endure, the less anything can shake you. Instead of asking for an easier path, work to become a stronger person. In leadership and in life, comfort never builds greatness. Only struggle does. Those who embrace discomfort as a teacher will rise above those who avoid it. Keep your ego in check, for it is one of the greatest threats to wisdom, growth, and true leadership. The Stoics warned that ego blinds us, making us believe we are greater than we truly are, entitled to success, and beyond the need for improvement. A leader ruled by ego stops listening, stops learning, and ultimately stops leading. The moment you believe you have nothing left to prove, no lessons left to learn, and no faults to correct, is the moment you begin to decline. True leadership is not about seeking status, admiration, or power. It is about service, humility, and continuous self-improvement. Ego makes you resistant to criticism. Instead of seeing feedback as an opportunity to grow, the egotistical leader takes it as an insult. They surround themselves with people who only tell them what they want to hear, creating an illusion of infallibility. But reality does not care about illusions. Sooner or later, a leader who ignores hard truths will face failure. The wise leader, however, welcomes feedback, even when it stings. They understand that growth comes from recognizing weaknesses, not pretending they don't exist. Ego also makes you compare yourself to others, seeking validation rather than excellence. You might feel superior when you outperform someone else, but true success is measured against your own potential, not against others. A leader should ask, am I better today than I was yesterday, rather than, am I better than those around me? The former leads to self-mastery, while the latter leads to arrogance and complacency. The most respected leaders are those who remain humble despite their achievements. They do not seek praise but rather focus on the mission. They do not let success inflate their pride, nor do they let failure define their worth. The Stoics taught that we must detach from the illusion of superiority, and remember that fortune can change at any moment. The emperor and the beggar are both human. The wise leader never forgets this truth. Keeping your ego in check does not mean thinking less of yourself. It means thinking of yourself less. It means putting the mission, the people you serve, and the pursuit of wisdom above personal pride. A leader who controls their ego remains open to growth, resilient in hardship, and unshaken by praise or criticism. And that is the kind of leader who truly stands the test of time. Lead by example, not by force, for true leadership is earned through actions, not imposed through authority. The Stoics understood that people do not follow commands blindly for long, nor do they respect leaders who rule through intimidation. Influence gained through fear is temporary, but respect gained through character lasts a lifetime. If you want others to be disciplined yourself. If you want them to be courageous, show them courage in your own decisions. Leadership is not about demanding obedience. It is about inspiring others to rise to their best selves by demonstrating what that looks like. A leader who relies on force creates followers who obey out of obligation, not out of belief in the mission. But a leader who leads by example creates a culture of trust, accountability, and commitment. When people see that their leader is willing to do the hard work, take responsibility, and uphold the same standards they set for others, they are far more likely to give their best. Actions speak louder than words, and no speech, policy, or rule can inspire people the way an authentic example can. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders, ruled Rome not with arrogance, but with humility and service. He did not separate himself from the struggles of his people, but endured them alongside them. His leadership was not about privilege but duty, and because of that, he was loved and respected, not feared. Contrast that with leaders who demand loyalty, but do not embody the values they preach. Such leaders may hold power for a time, but eventually their hypocrisy is exposed, and their influence crumbles. If you wish to be a great leader, ask yourself, would I follow someone like me? Would I trust my own actions if I were in another's position? These questions force us to look inward, and ensure that we are not asking from others what we do not practice ourselves. Leadership is not about standing above people, it is about standing with them, guiding them not by force but by example. Those who lead this way do not just command respect, they inspire transformation. And that is the mark of a true leader. Accept criticism without losing composure, for how you respond to feedback reveals the strength of your character and the depth of your wisdom. Many people see criticism as an attack, something to be resisted or deflected, but the Stoics understood that criticism is one of the greatest tools for growth, if you have the humility to accept it. A leader who reacts defensively, with anger or denial, not only misses the opportunity to improve, but also discourages honest communication from those around them. If people fear your reaction, they will stop telling you the truth, and without truth, you cannot lead effectively. Criticism, even when harsh, should be received with a calm and open mind. Instead of immediately rejecting it, pause and ask yourself, is there truth in this? Not all criticism is valid, but all criticism is valuable. It forces you to examine yourself from another perspective. Even if the words are unfair or spoken with ill intent, you still have the power to extract wisdom from them. If there is merit in the feedback, use it to refine your actions. If there is none, let it pass without allowing it to disturb your peace. A Stoic leader understands that their worth is not determined by praise or blame. If you let compliments inflate your ego and criticism shatter your confidence, you have given others too much control over your state of mind. Instead, remain steady, do not seek to be admired, nor fear being judged. Your focus should be on becoming better, not on protecting your pride. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic rulers, often reminded himself to welcome criticism as a necessary part of growth. He knew that to lead well one must be willing to hear uncomfortable truths. He did not surround himself with flatterers, but with those who would challenge him, because he understood that a leader who avoids criticism is a leader who stops improving. The next time someone criticizes you, resist the urge to react emotionally. Instead, see it as a test of your self-discipline. Accept it with grace, take what is useful, and discard the rest. The leader who remains calm in the face of criticism earns the respect of others and, more importantly, becomes the kind of person who is truly worthy of that respect. Practice gratitude and perspective, for they are the keys to maintaining inner peace and true leadership. In the rush of daily life, it is easy to focus on what is missing, what is unfair, or what has gone wrong. But a Stoic leader trains their mind to shift focus, not on what they lack, but on what they have. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a discipline, a conscious choice to recognize the good that exists even in difficult times. When you cultivate gratitude, you develop resilience, because you no longer depend on external circumstances to dictate your happiness. Perspective goes hand in hand with gratitude. Many problems that feel overwhelming in the moment are in truth small when seen from a broader view. The Stoics would often practice memento mori, the reminder that life is short and temporary. This was not meant to create fear, but rather to bring clarity. When you understand that time is limited, you stop wasting energy on trivial frustrations. You become more patient, more forgiving, and more focused on what truly matters. A leader with gratitude and perspective does not crumble under setbacks, because they understand that challenges are temporary, and even struggles contain lessons. They do not take success for granted, nor do they let failure define them. Instead, they appreciate each moment for what it is, a chance to grow, to serve, and to lead with wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reflected on the simple blessings of life, despite being an emperor burdened with immense responsibility. He reminded himself that every day he woke up was an opportunity to do good, to be just, and to act with virtue. If a ruler of an empire could find time to be grateful, so can we. No matter your circumstances, there is always something to appreciate. The ability to find gratitude even in hardship is what separates a reactive mind from a strong, disciplined one. A leader who practices gratitude and perspective remains grounded, unshaken by misfortune, and deeply connected to those they serve. Train yourself to see the bigger picture, and you will not only lead better, you will live better. Speak less, listen more, for wisdom is not gained through talking, but through understanding. Many people believe that leadership is about being the loudest voice in the room, commanding attention with speeches and directives. But the Stoics knew that true strength lies in restraint, in the ability to listen before speaking, to absorb before responding. A leader who talks too much often misses what is truly important, the needs, concerns, and wisdom of those around them. By listening more, you gain knowledge, earn respect, and make better decisions. Listening is not just about hearing words, it is about fully understanding the perspective of others. Too often people listen only to respond rather than to comprehend. They wait for their turn to speak instead of truly processing what is being said. A Stoic leader, however, listens with patience, curiosity, and humility. They do not assume they know everything. They recognize that every person, no matter their position, has something to teach. When you make listening a habit, you begin to notice things that others overlook, small details, hidden truths, and unspoken concerns that can shape the success or failure of any endeavor. Silence is also a form of discipline. The more you control your impulse to speak unnecessarily, the more powerful your words become when you do speak. If you talk constantly, your words lose weight. But if you choose your moments carefully, speaking only when necessary, people will listen with greater attention. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This principle applies especially to leadership. A leader who speaks less and listens more gains trust, because people feel heard, valued, and understood. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor of Rome, did not see himself as above learning from others. He wrote in Meditations about the importance of seeking counsel, of being open to correction, and of speaking only when it served a purpose. He knew that arrogance in speech leads to ignorance, but humility in listening leads to wisdom. When you resist the urge to dominate conversations, you create space for deeper insights. You gain the ability to read situations more accurately, to connect with people on a meaningful level, and to respond with clarity rather than impulse. Speaking less is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of strength, patience, and wisdom. The leader who listens more understands more, and the one who understands more leads better. Maintain inner peace amidst chaos, for a leader who remains calm in the storm inspires confidence and strength in others. Life is unpredictable. Challenges will arise, crises will unfold, and the world will often feel out of control. But the Stoics understood that while we cannot always control external events, we can always control how we respond to them. A leader who is ruled by panic, frustration, or fear spreads instability to those they lead. But a leader who remains composed, rational, and centered in times of uncertainty becomes a source of stability for everyone around them. Inner peace does not mean ignoring problems or pretending difficulties do not exist. It means approaching them with clarity, patience, and resilience. When emotions are high and everything seems to be falling apart, pause and remind yourself, what is within my control? The Stoics taught that most suffering comes not from events themselves but from our reactions to them. If you allow external chaos to create internal turmoil, you have surrendered your power. But if you learn to master your emotions, you gain the ability to make decisions with wisdom rather than impulse. Marcus Aurelius, as Emperor of Rome, faced wars, plagues, betrayals, and constant political struggles. Yet, instead of being consumed by stress, he turned to his Stoic practice, writing in Meditations about the importance of keeping his mind calm, no matter the circumstances. He saw every challenge as an opportunity to practice virtue, patience in difficulty, courage in adversity, and wisdom in uncertainty. He understood that true leadership is not about controlling everything around you, but about controlling yourself. When chaos strikes, breathe deeply. Take a step back. Focus on what you can do, rather than what you cannot change. Do not let anxiety dictate your actions. Let reason guide you. Those who look to you for leadership will follow your example. If you remain steady, they will find strength in your composure. If you lose control, they will lose confidence. Your ability to maintain inner peace in the face of disorder will define your legacy as a leader. In the end, peace is not something found outside of you, it is something built within. Cultivate it daily through reflection, discipline, and the practice of emotional control. Train yourself to be unmoved by chaos, and you will become the kind of leader who brings clarity, strength, and resilience to every challenge. Control what you can, let go of what you can't, for true strength lies in knowing where your power begins and where it ends. One of the greatest causes of stress, frustration, and anxiety is the attempt to control the uncontrollable. People waste energy worrying about the opinions of others, the outcomes of events beyond their influence, and the countless uncertainties of life. But the Stoics taught that peace comes from focusing only on what is within our power and accepting what is not. A leader who understands this distinction becomes unshakable, responding with wisdom instead of frustration when faced with challenges beyond their control. Imagine standing in the middle of a storm. You cannot stop the wind from howling, the rain from falling, or the lightning from striking, but you can control your reaction. You can take shelter, remain calm, and navigate through it with a clear mind. Life operates in the same way. You cannot dictate how others behave, how the market shifts, or what obstacles arise, but you can always choose how you respond. Worrying about what you cannot change only drains your energy. Directing that energy toward what you can influence, your actions, your mindset, your discipline, empowers you. Marcus Aurelius wrote in Meditations that we should not waste time wishing the world were different, but instead focus on making the best of what is given. He faced betrayals, wars, and plagues, yet he did not complain or resist reality. Instead, he asked himself, what is within my control? How can I act with virtue in this situation? This mindset is what allowed him to lead Rome with resilience and wisdom, even in the most challenging times. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means releasing unnecessary burdens. It means accepting that some things are simply outside of your hands, and rather than resisting them, you adjust and move forward. It is the difference between wasting time trying to stop the waves and learning how to sail. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, the key to inner peace. As a leader, remind yourself daily, am I focusing on what I can control, or am I being consumed by what I can't? Train your mind to let go of useless worry, and you will free yourself to act with clarity, purpose, and strength. In the end, those who master this mindset do not just survive hardship, they thrive in it. In the end, true leadership is not about titles, power, or control. It is about mastering yourself. It is about standing firm in your principles, staying calm in the face of adversity, and leading through example rather than force. The Stoic path teaches us that while we cannot dictate the world around us, we can always command our own minds. When you control your reactions, embrace discomfort as growth, and focus only on what is within your power, you become unshakable. The storms of life may rage, but they will not break you. So rise each day with purpose, lead with wisdom, and face every challenge with strength. The world does not need louder voices, it needs steadier minds. Be that mind, be that leader, and in doing so, inspire others to do the same.